102 years ago, nationalists, Republicans, trade unionists, feminists, doctors, artists and poets authored and read out the Proclamation of the Irish Republic. The proclamation set forth a progressive vision for a new independent Ireland. At the heart of the proclamation is the objective to cherish all the children of the nation equally. This objective is also at the heart of our human rights campaign. We are a cross-party organisation. We also have many members with no political background or affiliation. We have 450 activists throughout the 32 counties of Ireland. We are mobilising progressives, Republicans, trade unionists and people of the left to fight for the equal right to life of all Irish people. We want a society where there is an equal right to life for children to be born, irrespective of ability, income, race or gender. We are leafleting, canvassing and organising for a humane and compassionate response to mothers and children in all circumstances. We are striving for a no vote in this referendum, and we are calling on the government to invest in maternity services, perinatal hospice services, housing, childcare and a decent living wage for working mothers. We have a number of speakers here today that I'm very proud to introduce you to. Firstly, I would like to call on Councillor Íde Cussen from Kildare. Íde is a long-time Irish Republican woman who, due to her own life experience, has a significant insight into the potential consequences of the abortion industry.
Can you hear me? I'm an unrepentant Republican pro-lifer. As Republicans, we pledge to cherish all the children equally and to stand for fairness and equality, protecting the most vulnerable in our society. Thatcher famously said, "There's no such thing as society, it's individuals, it's everyone for themselves." Well, what sort of a society is that? Every man and every woman for themselves and leaving the most vulnerable behind. I respect the right to life of the mother and the preborn. Today there is a battle against the most vulnerable: housing, healthcare and now the unborn child. We are in a national emergency. Our government is setting to take away the right to life of one category of our people from our constitution: the preborn. What country takes away a human right from their constitution? They are to be considered a life worth less. A dependent, vulnerable, preborn child to be cast into the bin as clinical waste. I'm a survivor of an abortion regime in England. I survived maybe to stir things up a bit. My parents were living in England when my mother became pregnant with me. She already had one stillbirth and had given birth to two more. All three were by caesarean section. And for health reasons, the doctors there advised her to have an abortion as they could not guarantee her own life. Mum had had very complicated medical conditions as a young woman and had been told that she probably wouldn't ever have children. Mum, however, on her and this, was determined that it wouldn't happen. She travelled home to Ireland to her mother. She crossed the Irish Sea in her time of crisis to her mum in Ireland. While home in her mum's, she wasn't feeling well and Granny said to her, "Pop down to the rotunda there. They usually look after mammies and babies down there, so why don't you go and see?" At the rotunda, she was seen by an obstetrician who said he couldn't and wouldn't guarantee her anything, but he would do his best for her and the baby. Mum said it was as simple as that. It was good enough for her. Mum sent a telegram to my dad in England. Bearing in mind this is a few years ago, there was no mobile phones, and she told him to return to Ireland as she wasn't going back to a country that didn't respect the unborn. That was quite a statement to make. Dad did just that. And to put things in perspective now, my dad had no work and we had no home. We lived in my granny's house, then we lived in my great granny's house, and I was 4 years of age before we finally had a home, a council home on the north side of Dublin. Over my life, I've always known how we as a family returned to Ireland, how and why I was born in Dublin while my sisters had been born in England. Like Mum, I feel if I had an abortion, I think it would have radically changed who I am as a person and as a woman. For years, people in the abortion campaign have called for a debate on abortion. However, despite those calls, there are many taboo subjects that we are not allowed to discuss. One of these is the fact that abortion hurts women. Throughout Ireland, there are hundreds, possibly thousands of women who grieve every day for the aborted child that they have lost. Some of these women turn to alcohol and drugs to dull the pain. Others have experienced self-harm and worse. Relationships and families in towns and villages in Ireland struggle and break under the pressure of this silent sadness. The women are accepted as the collateral damage of the abortion industry. They are an inconvenient truth that must be brushed under the carpet like modern-day Magdalene laundry women. I'm also a mother of 2 young adults. I lost my first pregnancy through violence, domestic violence. I remember all my scans and the photographs of the scans of the pictures that the rotunda gave me to take home. I never asked anybody, did you want to look at my fetus picture? Any woman never asks that. We always say, do you want to see a picture of my baby? That's the key. It is a baby. It is a life. And we should cherish all children equally, the pre-born as well. But remember, Ireland is a safe country with one of the lowest maternal mortality rates. Let's keep Ireland a safe country for all its people. Cherish all of the children equally. Gurmila Maher.